President of the United States attacked the Attorney General of the United States in an interview with the New York Times published tonight. This is something we have never seen before. This leaves the Attorney General no choice. He must resign. Attorney General Jeff Sessions gave the New York Times no comment, absolutely no comment, when he was told what the president said about him, and the New York Times asked for comment about that. The president told the New York Times that he regrets appointing Jeff Sessions. And when a president expresses no confidence in a cabinet member, then that cabinet member owes the president his resignation. When a president does it publicly, which is something we just have never seen before, then that cabinet member really has no choice. From that minute forward, absolutely no choice. Here is some of the New York Times audio recording of what the president said.
Sessions gets the job. Right after he gets the job, he recuses himself.
Was that a mistake?
Well, Sessions should have never recused himself. And if he was going to recuse himself, he should have told me before he took the job, and I would have picked somebody else.
Mm-hmm. He gave you no heads up at all in any sense?
Zero.
Okay.
So Jeff Sessions takes the job, gets into the job, recuses himself. I then have, which frankly, I think is very unfair to the president. How do you take a job and then recuse yourself? If he would have recused himself before the job, I would have said, thanks, Jeff, but I can't, I'm not going to take you. It's extremely unfair, and that's a mild word, to the president. So he recuses himself.
That's it. That is amazing. And it is amazing that Jeff Sessions is still in the job. Any self-respecting Attorney General of the United States would have publicly resigned as soon as the president's words became public earlier this evening. It is now clear that Jeff Sessions is going to be a witness against the President of the United States. And it's also clear that the president's defense to Special Prosecutor Mueller is going to be, I don't remember. Those will be his words. The New York Times interview shows that the president believes he can get through the special prosecutor's investigation of obstruction of justice with the simple words, I don't remember. In his interview with the New York Times, the president disagreed sharply, contradicted former FBI Director James Comey's description of a February 14th meeting in the Oval Office in which the president kicked everyone out of the room so that he could speak alone to James Comey. In James Comey's now public, under oath account of that meeting and in his notes, James Comey said that the president asked everyone to leave the room, including Jared Kushner, including Vice President Mike Pence, and including Attorney General Jeff Sessions. To the New York Times, the president says he doesn't remember kicking anyone out of the room. Quote, I don't remember even talking to him about any of this stuff, Mr. Trump said of Mr. Comey. He said, I asked people to go. Look, you look at his testimony. His testimony is loaded up with lies, okay? Question mark. So Jared Kushner and the vice president and everyone else who was in the room is going to be asked under oath, who is telling the truth, James Comey or Donald Trump? Attorney General Jeff Sessions is going to be asked under oath by the special prosecutor, did President Trump order everyone out of the room? Did he order you out of the room? What do you think Jeff Sessions is going to say under oath in answer to that question, which is a key obstruction of justice question? Because the obstruction of justice case against the president is very much about that meeting, very much about what was his incentive for kicking everyone out of that room, to have a private conversation with the FBI director. Did he intend to obstruct justice in that conversation and not want any witnesses? Jeff Sessions is going to be asked, did the president kick you out of the room? Do you think Jeff Sessions is going to simply say he agrees with Donald Trump and just doesn't remember? Or do you think he's just going to say, yes, the president kicked us out of the room? Do you think Jeff Sessions is going to agree with former FDI director's under oath testimony, James Comey's under oath testimony that he's already given? Do you think Jeff Sessions is going to agree or try to contradict James Comey's written notes about that meeting? You think he's going to try to help the president? You think Jeff Sessions is going to try to help the president and say, I don't remember? Is Mike Pence going to say, I don't remember? Is Jared Kushner going to say, I don't remember? Attorney General Jeff Sessions' desire, if he ever had it, to be helpful to the president in his testimony to the special prosecutor, Robert Mueller, cannot be as strong tonight as it might have been last night. Jeff Sessions has been publicly attacked by the president. And in the middle of that attack, the president told all of his teammates who were in the Oval Office that day how he is going to testify when Robert Mueller asks him under oath if he kicked all of them out of the room when he asked to speak with James Comey alone. He's going to testify, I don't remember. And he's giving all of the other witnesses in the case, all of the witnesses on his team who were in the Oval Office that day, the signal right now, tonight, of how he wants them to handle that question. The president is making it publicly clear that on that question, the Trump position is I don't remember. And on that question, it's going to be Donald Trump's credibility versus James Comey's credibility. And everyone in that room is going to have to choose a side. And there is no reason tonight, none, for Jeff Sessions to do any favors for Donald Trump in his testimony. Jeff Sessions may have always simply planned to tell the truth about that moment in the Oval Office, in which case nothing might have changed for him tonight about his crucial testimony about that moment when James Comey says Jeff Sessions and everyone else was kicked out of the Oval Office. But how can Jeff Sessions go back to work tomorrow? How can he do that? How can he walk into the Justice Department? How can Jeff Sessions attend the next cabinet meeting as the only member of the cabinet who the president has publicly attacked and said he wished he didn't nominate him? He wished he wasn't the Attorney General. The president has the most incompetent cabinet in history, and he's unhappy with only one of them. Only Jeff Sessions. When the New York Times asked the president today if Robert Mueller's investigation would cross a red line, if it expands to look at the Trump family's finances, Mr. Trump said, I would say yes. I think that's a violation. Look, this is about Russia. After that interview was published tonight, the New York Times published another story about how the Trump family finances are already being investigated. Banking regulators are reviewing hundreds of millions of dollars in loans made to Mr. Trump's businesses through Deutsche Bank's private wealth management unit, which caters to an ultra-rich clientele, according to 3 people briefed on the review who were not authorized to speak publicly. The bank is expecting to eventually have to provide information to Robert Mueller, the special counsel overseeing the federal investigation into the Trump campaign's ties to Russia. Deutsche Bank has also lent money to Jared Kushner, the president's son-in-law and senior advisor, and to his family real estate business, although Deutsche Bank recently landed in legal trouble for laundering money for Russian entities, paying more than $600 million in penalties to New York and British regulators. There is no indication of a Russian connection to Mr. Trump's loans or accounts at Deutsche Bank. People briefed on the matter said.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.